Donald Trump's new running mate, J.D. Vance, took to the stage of the Republican convention in Milwaukee Wednesday. It was the latest in the incredible rags to riches story for that 39-year-old senator from Ohio. Vance called Donald Trump America's last and best hope.
For decades, that divide between the few with their power and comfort in Washington and the rest of us only widened. From Iraq to Afghanistan, from the financial crisis to the Great Recession, from open borders to stagnating wages, the people who govern this country have failed and failed again. President Trump represents America's last best hope to restore what, if lost, may never be found again. A country where a working-class boy born far from the halls of power can stand on this stage as the next vice president of the United States of America.
We're going to talk more about this with our international affairs commentator, Douglas Herbert, who joins me on the set. Doug, this was J.D. Vance's first speech since Donald Trump picked him to be his running mate. I mean, what kind of expectations were there going into this speech, and did he live up to them?
Well, first of all, look, all party conventions, Democrat or Republican, what are they about? They're about blind, loud devotion to the presumptive nominee, the party leader. And this is no exception. The Republican National Convention, to many outsiders looking in, it almost takes that to a new level, this cult-like devotion. It has like sort of a whiff of North Korea, the devotion to the supreme leader. J.D. Vance is more Trump than Trump. For many people, he's not just the embodiment of sort of the future of the MAGA movement, but he takes Donald Trump's isolationist America first, make America great again agenda to sort of an extreme. So he is, like I said, to a lot of people looking in, someone who drank the Kool-Aid. He's a man who was once, as we've said, fiercely critical of Donald Trump. People knew that. He once he deleted a 2016 tweet where he basically said, what proportion of the American population has Donald Trump sexually assaulted? He likened Donald Trump. He privately questioned whether he might become America's Hitler. He called Donald Trump cultural heroin. There was no love lost between J.D. Vance and Donald Trump a few years back. What happened? Did someone wave a magic wand and he all of a sudden became a different person? Look, he went up there and the expectations were that Vance would be able to bring Trump, and this is what Trump and his allies are counting on, something that Trump desperately needs, and that is a big boost in the battleground states, which we know in American elections are the be-all and end-all of the outcome. Several tens of thousands of votes might decide this election in November, and the three real battlegrounds among battlegrounds, Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, are the states that Vance really latched onto as home to a lot of the white working class Americans that he's from, that he wrote about in his autobiography, Hillbilly Elegy, that he comes from. That's what they want. Donald Trump sees Vance as his ticket to those battleground states, to the mostly non-college educated white working class voters that he needs. I will just note that he mentioned Michigan 6 times in this speech, Pennsylvania 5 times, Wisconsin 3 times. That shows how central that demographic is to Donald Trump and this vote in November.
It really is, and the Republicans are showing this unity as something that we're not seeing at all on the other side of the political fence.
The hits just keep on coming for the Democrats, it seems. The party is going through a very troubled moment when the Republicans are having this celebratory display of unity that the Republican Party, maybe not going out on a limb, hasn't seen in generations. This much display of unity and cheeriness. Democrats are still divided over his whether he should even be the candidate. The latest, more than 24 congressmen, Democratic congresspeople, have come out saying that Biden should step aside. Others have said so privately, expressed some doubts. The latest was Adam Schiff. He's running for U.S. California Democratic seat. Schiff also oversaw a lot of the investigation into Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. He basically said publicly, Adam Schiff, that Donald Trump should step aside. That coming on top.
Joe Biden should step
Donald Trump. Joe Biden, thank you. That coming on top last week of the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, both saying that they had met and conveyed their caucus's concerns that Joe Biden, if he remains at the top of the ticket, would imperil the Democrats' chances of being able to have majorities in the House, which would imperil their chances of being able to push legislation. So, yes, the tide is still rising. The hue and cry against Biden, publicly and privately, is rising. And lo and behold, he has COVID as well. When I say the hits keep on coming, I'm not exaggerating.
Doug, thanks for that. France 24's Doug Herbert. Well, the European Commission